The train is running on the tracks. The wind is blowing fast outside, causing raindrops to fall from the windows onto the passengers sitting in the train. Some are talking to each other, while others are discussing the changes in the weather. Suddenly, something hard hits the train, and the entire train sinks into the sea. This incident is like a movie. It seems like a story, but this is not a story. The most tragic and oldest train accident in India. Due to this, the entire railway bridge, station and train were washed away into the sea. But let's start with this interesting video. Pamban Railway Bridge. The first bridge in India associated with this railway accident is called Pamban Railway Bridge. The bridge's construction began in 1911. It connects the state of Tamil Nadu with the city of Dhanushkodi on Pamban Island. The Pamban Railway Bridge was opened to the public on 20 February 1914. It remained in operation until the opening of the Bandra-Worli Sea Railway Bridge in 2010. Considered to be the longest sea bridge in India, a road bridge was built in 1988 to replace the same bridge, making it a better option for Dhanushkodi tourists to travel by rail. A section of the Pamban railway line used to connect Dhanushkodi to India, but due to an accident, this railway line was permanently destroyed. The Pamban railway line still connects Rameswaram to India today, but at that time, this railway line was not connected to Dhanushkodi. There was no attempt to rebuild the broken railway line of Dhanushkodi because the line and the train running on it mysteriously washed away into the sea. How Dhanushkodi city became ruins. 1984. Earlier, Dhanushkodi was a very beautiful and commercial city on the east coast of Tamil Nadu. The distance from there to Sri Lanka was only 18 miles, 29 kilometers. To connect this city with India, a single railway line was built from Pamban, which ran to the sea. Located in the middle, this place became very popular as a tourist and pilgrimage site. These pilgrims, along with fishermen, used to come and go here. Dhanushkodi had many dharamshalas, hotels and clothing shops, but at that time, the Pamban railway line did not extend to Rameswaram. This is why the Dhanushkodi railway line was destroyed in 1964. The Pamban railway, which connects Rameswaram, was not affected, while the railway line connecting Dhanushkodi was destroyed by the cyclone. This prosperous city was also completely destroyed. On December 21, 1964, a severe cyclone struck the southern tip of India. At that time, the Pamban Dhanushkodi passenger train left Mandapam in Tamil Nadu for Dhanushkodi, which became its last journey. However, just as the train was about to depart from the Mandapam railway station, a pressure buildup occurred in the sea, which caused rain and a severe storm. But the train and other means of transport continued to operate. Everything was very normal when train number 653 left Mandapam railway station. At that time, the wind was blowing at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour. As the train continued on the tracks, the wind speed increased further, and it turned into a cyclone. In that situation, the signals to the loco pilot stopped coming, and he stopped the train midway for safety. But after not receiving any signal for a long time, the loco pilot decided to continue because keeping the train on the tracks without any information could lead to a new accident. That's why the loco pilot showed courage and whistled and slowly drove the train in the midst of heavy wind and rain. He started. In the meantime, the speed of the cyclone moving from Sri Lanka towards southern India had increased further, and the winds had started blowing at a speed of 280 kilometers per hour. Some passengers traveling in the train had closed their windows, while others were enjoying the changing weather. More than half of the people traveling in that train, the pilgrims, were supposed to board another train from Dhanushkodi to reach Sri Lanka, but they could not reach their destination. The train mysteriously disappeared in the sea at 11:53 a.m. The Pamban Dhanushkodi passenger train 653 was a few kilometers away from the station, but the train was not found on the morning of December 22nd. No one knew that they were not lucky enough to see the sun. The train continued to move forward, blowing its whistle. At the same time, thick darkness fell on all four sides. The situation outside began to look very scary. But instead of stopping the train in the middle, the loco pilot took the risk and drove the train forward without signaling. When the train reached the Pamban railway bridge built in the sea, The situation got worse because the tracks were very slippery due to the heavy rain, and the darkness made it very difficult to assess the situation at the same time. A strong sea current hit train number 653 and mysteriously left. 7 people on the train. There were compartments that were completely destroyed by the storm and the sea. The storm was so severe that even after the situation returned to normal, no one could find a single part of train number 653. According to railway statistics, the storm swept away the Pamban Bridge passenger train, along with 110 passengers, and it took the lives of 5 railway employees. It is difficult to estimate where the train and the passengers traveling in it, along with those who were at sea, were washed away. However, these statistics of the railways are limited to only those passengers who had bought tickets and traveled on the train. Apart from them, there were also those who had not bought train tickets. Their names are given below. It is not on the list, so it is believed that the number of people who lost their lives in the accident of train number 653 was between 180 and 200. The sea is so vast that no evidence has been found regarding the train and the passengers who were washed away in it. Those who lost their relatives in the accident could not even bid them a final farewell. The cyclone that struck in 1984 was so violent and destructive that it completely destroyed the train and the pilgrims, as well as the Pamban railway line connecting Mandapam with Dhanushkodi. The storm caused destruction of train number 653, which was suddenly engulfed in the sea, but the real pain of the disaster was felt by the people living in Dhanushkodi, as well as Rameshwaram. The cyclone that came that year was so severe that it is said to have wreaked havoc in South India for several hours. In Dhanushkodi city alone, the cyclone killed 1,000 to 1,800 people and left hundreds more seriously injured. At that time, rescue and relief work was not possible with modern methods, and it is impossible to save lives and take people to a safe place. In addition, Dhanushkodi is a landlocked area in the middle of the sea, meaning that the people there have no way to escape the waves. They are surging. They have the power to swallow even large objects. The beautiful and abundant city of Dhanushkodi has been transformed into a deserted and ruined area. Starting from Dharamshala, shops and tourist spots have been completely destroyed. Looking at the broken houses and shops of the people, it is not difficult to estimate what the storm has taken with it. Is it not a big problem in this natural disaster? The railway line connecting Mandapam with Dhanushkodi was completely destroyed. No attempt was ever made to rebuild the bridge after this. According to survivors of the accident, waves as high as 10 kilometers during the cyclone swept away everything, but the storm water did not reach the main temple in Rameswaram. Hundreds of people took shelter in the temple to save their lives. They escaped the storm safely. After this terrible disaster, the then Madras government declared Dhanushkodi uninhabitable because there was no means of providing help in times of distress. No. With the passage of time, the beautiful Dhanushkodi has turned into a deserted town where only a few fishermen now live and continue their lives by catching fish in the sea. Memorials were built in the memory of Dhanushkodi victims. There is a memorial near the Dhanushkodi bus stand, which is dedicated to those who died in the disaster of 1964. It was built in memory of the people. What is written on the monument is that a cyclone accompanied by high speed and strong winds destroyed Dhanushkodi on December 22, 1964, at midnight. This cyclone continued till the evening of December 5, 1964. The cyclone caused huge damage and claimed the lives of hundreds of people. The entire city of Dhanushkodi has been destroyed. The fishermen of Dhanushkodi risked their lives to stay in the city. Their family is in South India. Those fishermen catch fish, and they travel to Rameshwaram by boat because they have no other train option. This is the mysteriously missing Pamban Dhanushkodi passenger train, 653. It disappeared from its place and drowned many people in the sea. This train accident is believed to be one of the most terrifying and mysterious incidents in India because this incident caused great fear among the people. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share it and also subscribe to our channel. Mr. Meem.